Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition and an element of Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition that is both a cautionary tale and an inspiration at the same time. And it is the harsh reality that you can't buy a good Dungeons & Dragons game. You have to make it yourself. And money can't get you there. It can help, but it can't get you there. It really can't. And one of the best things about Dungeons & Dragons is you can have every 5th edition, you can have every licensed product for 5th edition, right? And so you're a DM and you have every licensed product for 5th edition. And then your competitor, right? All she has is the DMG, the MM, and the PHP of the 5th edition. She has just as good a shot, if not better, right, of making a good game than you do. You can't buy a good game. Now, how did I learn this? Well, I'm going to suggest some people to you. Their names are Aba and Preach, and they are commentary. Their YouTube reaction. They do YouTube reactions. Okay, so they react to videos, right? And they're just actually they pose as just stand-up comedians. They're like, oh, we're just goofy stand-up comedians. You know us, whatever. And it seems like they're like just kind of goofballs, but they're like, because they'll say a lot of silly things, right? Not all their videos are great, right? But some of them are brilliant. And the one I'm talking to you about today taught me this reality about Dungeons & Dragons, and just reminded me of the hard truth of reality of Dungeons & Dragons, is that you can't buy a good game. You cannot, okay? So let's talk this through. So basically what they were talking about was that, it was really interesting, was Aba and Preach did this piece, and they were talking about how wealth has a limit on how much it can help a child. So when you have a child and you're going to bring that child up, wealth really helps with their health, with food, and also with education, right? But the reality is, having wealth can't help you be a good parent, right? At the end of the day, being a good parent requires more than wealth. That's a better way to say it. More than wealth, okay? And here's the key, right? So they said this line, and they were talking about kids, and both Aba and Preach grew up poor, right? And by the way, Aba and Preach, they pose as comedians, but they're actually deep philosophers, in my opinion, right? And this was a deep philosophy they set forward, and they said, hey, listen to this. They said, when we were young, we lived on the poor sides of the tracks, right? But the wealthy kids were just a few blocks away, and the wealthy kids would come and play. And I think it was Aba that said this. He said they had the super soakers, but we were doing things that were super, right? And he explained how they played cops and robbers, right? They played pickup games of baseball, right? They didn't have super soakers, so they just picked up the hose and squirted each other, right? And when they were kids and they would play, they had the best, funnest games, right? Not the wealthy kids. The wealthy kids came to their neighborhood to play, right? And I thought, that's brilliant. It was just a really great point. And here's the thing. If you are smart and you are doing your job as a dungeon master, you can make the best game in the world with nothing more than the DMG, the PHP, and the MM. That's it. That's all you need. And somebody can outspend you 100-1 and still have a worse game than you. They can have the super soakers, but if you have the super, your game's going to be better. All that's my opinion. Go check out Aba and Preach. Thank you very much. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.